To be honest, I don't know. Like, I don't want Argentina to win.
You're just over it with them.
Dude,
That's the Mexican in you, Rob, saying that,
dude, yeah.
huh?
And I have like
If I
it
had to
has to be
guess, it was
extra.
probably a special request song. Uh,
Yeah,
the little
dude,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yes.
Yeah, dude, I could do it.
Uh,
All right, welcome everybody to another episode of Banter on the Rocks. Today is Monday, December 8th. So, welcome back to everybody, to our returning listeners. We appreciate you more than you know. Thank you for showing up, grabbing your drink, and hanging with us every week. And if you're new here, welcome. We're glad you found us. And before we jump in, just make sure you hit that follow and subscribe button so you never miss our weekly episodes packed with fresh takes, big laughs, and unfiltered banter. So today's episode is loaded, and so we're diving into quite a few things. We have Rob joining us in our third chair today. We're
yeah,
going to
yeah.
discuss some World Cup draw, discuss NCAA college football playoffs, some of the reactions, our reactions, some fantasy football as well, and just bringing you our real takes, our reactions, and everything in between. So let's just get right into it. And first, World Cup draw. That happened this past week, Friday, December 6th. And I think just the first question for both of you. Did you guys watch it?
I watched the highlights of it. It was
Oh, the
very
highlights.
interesting. Yeah. It's like hours long, dude. Like them drawing the little paper out of the
Yeah.
so my attention span is like that small. But dude, yeah, it's interesting because three countries, Mexico, United States, and Canada.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think it has never been done before, right?
No.
Like I don't.
No. I think the last one, it was two countries, Korea, Japan. Korea and
Oh yeah,
Japan,
yeah,
South
yeah,
Korea.
yeah. Yeah, it's weird. It's 48 teams now,
Hmm.
and should
New
be
format.
interesting. Yeah, new format. Um, I'm gonna try to catch a game here. I don't know about you, John, but
I'll see. I saw what the games were here in Cali. I think there's only one good game, one
which is
okay.
who?
I think it was US. Is it USA Australia here?
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I think so.
I think that's in.
The Bay has
Oh,
trash
I
teams.
feel
Uh-oh.
bad for the Bay. Yeah.
What did
Dude,
we draw?
you guys
Well,
like it's like the worst team. Like the teams that I would never like pay to
I
go see.
Great.
yeah, it wasn't the most interesting teams. Let me just try to see if I can remember just from here.
While
I
you're
think it.
looking at that,
Yeah.
oh no, go ahead.
I think it might be like or no, I think it's Egypt, Iran.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Ah,
Which Egypt, like I said, you're seeing Mohamed Salah, Mo Salah. That'll be fun, but like the game in general might not be as interesting.
Yeah, it's not. That's something I wouldn't go like watch me
No.
specifically, but I'm sure like people that are from that t country,
Hmm.
they would love and travel to the Bay or even here in
Hmm.
uh Los Angeles. But I'm excited though because it's crazy Mexico versus Africa
South
and
Africa,
they're yeah South Africa they're opening the game again and last time they played was how long ago? 2010?
2010, when it was in South
Yeah,
Africa. That was the
dude,
opening game.
it was a good game, and I remember it was very passionate. This team for Mexico, and I have high, I don't have high hopes for them, but I
No.
do. No, no, dude, their organization is so corrupt, and like just I don't see any coach like really caring about Mexico. If it's always about money
Uh-huh.
um. And like I think recently they were playing a lot of the games in Mexico, but um when they play in Mexico and then they lose in Mexico, they can't take the heat. So now they're saying like, oh, well, like, we still get booed in Mexico. Let's go back to the United States and play in the
Hmm.
United States. It's just a money grab.
Hmm.
I think United States has a good chance, maybe. They do have a lot of young players, a lot of talent coming up. We'll see. It's interesting. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
It should be fun World Cup, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, because yeah, I don't know if you've heard Tim, Mexico's or the players I would say are complaining a little bit of all the negative talk after their bad performances when they play in Mexico, and I forget who said it, but they're like that's why they have us play in the USA, for that
Yeah,
confidence boost. And I'm just like, man,
but
it's gonna be tough because all Mexico plays every game in Mexico, so like I say, they should get out of the group, I think, comfortably. But man, if they
co-
don't, it's gonna suck.
confidence, like, dude, they play the worst teams ever. Like, they should be playing like Germany, Spain. But I think they were saying that someone was saying like they'll lose so much that their confidence will go down.
Hmm.
But like, dude, that's the point. Like,
Hmm.
to see what Mexico. That's why, dude, Argentina makes fun of us. The Mexican team, the national team, they make fun of us so much because, and I mean, it's true. Like, we're I don't. They're just gifted, and it's funny. See, like Argentina, it's their country is super poor.
Yeah.
Like compared to Mexico, like, dude, but like they're just gifted and like they know how to like,
Hmm.
you know, pick a team, pick who's the best, like the best 11 players in your country.
Hmm.
And I don't think they're as corrupt as Mexico. Um and their league is not bad, dude. Their league always makes it like I don't know if you heard of Copa Libertadores.
Hmm. Yeah.
So like when Mexico,
Uh,
dude, they win. It's either them or Brazil. It's
or Brazil.
and it's
Yeah.
very, yeah. It's very rare for a Brazilian team to like. I mean, a Mexican team, sorry, to either
Hmm.
be in the final or win that
Yeah.
cup. So I
Yeah.
don't know. It's interesting, and they're playing in Azteca, so um, it's gonna be pressure for sure for Mexico to win at home.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But who do you got for this World Cup?
I'll let Tim go. Let him get a word in.
Hey yo. All right. No, just
Keep
letting
going,
the
Tim.
the
Give
two
it to
wizards go
me.
back and forth. It's all right. You know, let the student learn. It's okay. Um, but yeah, some key points I've kind of read into, just in my studies here. I've seen that, this could be like the most wide open World Cup we've seen in decades, right? Like everybody's
Hmm.
pretty balanced right now. Like I'm sure there's at least one or two powerhouses, right? Or,
Hmm.
that a handful that might stand out. But I think across the board, like you guys mentioned, the USA team is, looking they're set up pretty good in their group. I think
Hmm.
that they drew, a favorable bracket with Australia, Paraguay, and then a playoff team, right?
Hmm.
I guess a UEFA playoff team.
Yeah.
Question regarding those teams though, like what's the draw of those? Who's considered under a UEFA um, playoff team?
So the playoff teams are already set. I think for that group, it's Turkey. I don't know if it's Romania. I don't think it's
Colombia.
Romania. No, Turkey, I forget, and then Slovakia and like Kosovo.
Hmm.
So it's like there because there's one, two, three playoff teams, and or is there four? Four. Um, and it's these teams that because UEFA is so big with all the European countries that they needed a playoff to sort of pick the last few groups. Um, and I would say they got the better option of these playoff teams because the one playoff team you didn't want was where are they? Uh, it's Group B, Canada, because that has
Hmm.
Italy, Wales, and Italy. They they've been playing bad the last 8 years, but it's a team that if they make it, they're going to be dangerous. So they got lucky they didn't get that Italy team. They got Turkey, who I think Turkey might get out of that group, but we'll see. Because it's the playoffs, everybody's going to put everything in because one loss, you're out. Your World Cup dream is over.
For sure. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, US they've made a coaching change, right, to the team altogether, and I think that will hopefully help a bit. Yeah, and then overall with the event, kind of dry. Honestly, John and I were talking a bit. Kevin Hart was doing his best to be like, "Hey, yeah," with
Yeah.
like with his little voice, and, standing a foot taller or a foot shorter than his counterpart there. Yeah, it definitely got more of my attention because was it the FIFA president that did a lot of the presenting in the beginning, and then he's like, "Oh, everybody from the U.S., raise your hand," and then you're like, "All right, let's do USA chants," and then they did USA chants, and then another one was like Mexico chants, and then they did Mexico, and then Canada, and I'm like, man, that's just kind of awkward,
Yeah.
like, yeah, just get
What
to the
what
point.
what would have been amazing, like, because yeah, that was like I don't know if you saw that highlight, Rob, but that was like the most awkward and just cringy moment of this thing. A lot of it was cringy. I forget what the word was. I don't want to get too much into
Didn't
it.
Trump didn't he go on?
Yeah,
Or he
but
came
Yeah.
in like
for that award, but like I say, I don't want to talk too much about that because that just gets into
yeah.
politics. But that was also a point. I was like, it was planned. But yeah, Infantino when he said that, the one thing that would have been amazing is like when they were saying like, oh, USA, USA, and then when they would have got to Mexico, if Mexico would have done their signature, puto, it would have
Puto,
been
yeah, dude.
amazing.
Yeah.
That would
That
have
would
been
have been really good.
hilarious. Yeah, I would
They
have.
would have sanctioned Mexico so freaking bad, dude,
They
if they
would
did
have.
that.
They would, but it would have been
Dude,
hilarious and amazing if they would have
dude,
done
they
that.
would,
That would
and
have been
that's the
great.
thing. Like I think they since they're playing in Mexico, you're gonna see a lot of that, dude. A
Hmm.
lot of talking shit, a lot of like
Yeah.
it should be interesting, dude. It's just gonna be really fun. It's every time I see the World Cup, it's very exciting. And and the people, that's what makes it exciting. And
Yeah.
dude, you know how, let alone Mexicans, you know how Latinos are,
Yeah.
especially Mexico, dude. Fuck, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Because
So
you
do you
remember they were
consider
in
it?
Russia?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when they
Like,
were in
dude, it
Russia.
was,
They were partying like crazy and you know.
eh, eh, and that's a really regulated country, and they
Yeah.
were like they didn't care, dude. So
I
it,
wonder
it should be fun.
I wonder how many came back or how many are still out there somewhere. Just hiding.
Yeah.
Hidden in a dungeon somewhere down there,
Right.
but no, it was great. And I think the last thing with sort of the whole presentation from Friday, the closing performance. I don't know if you guys saw who was closing it.
Did not.
I,
Didn't make
I
it to
actually
that point.
know.
Didn't
I,
survive.
I didn't see.
It was like I forget the group name, but they were doing the YMCA song. So the oldies
Oh,
doing
I saw a clip of
YMCA.
that. I think you might have
I
sent
was
it to
just
me, John.
like, I was like, that was just like, come on, like people did not
Mhm.
hear with the
No,
song,
dude.
and nothing against them, like it's a popular song, but like for this type of event, like it was just. It was a joke, but what I told Tim and the one thing, people were complaining, like, just get to the draw. But I was like, it's the USA. We make things extra. You, everything
Yeah,
USA does, it's extra.
If I
it
had to
has to be
guess, it was
extra.
probably a special request song. Uh,
The little
yeah,
Yeah, dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yes.
Yeah, dude. Dude.
Uh,
I didn't see that, but dude. And then talking about songs, John. Every year, or not every 4 years, I feel like the World Cup songs are like, dude, like so bad.
Shakira?
Like
they,
Shakira has a real good song, dude.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she has a really good World Cup song.
Mm-hmm.
they,
Um,
they've
my
been they've been okay. What was it?
the guitar
2020.
one, Dugu Dugu Da, whatever the F.
I don't
Like
think that was the official one. I think there was
it was
another
it?
one. The Light the Sky. I think that's the official one. Um,
I,
or
What's the
I mean,
official one?
Light the Sky. I forget which one's the actual official songs because they make like three songs at times.
yeah,
Let me
yeah,
see.
yeah, they do. Yeah,
Let me see.
Waving the
20.
Flag is my favorite one all time. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember that
So
one.
Qatar has had a lot. The one you mentioned is one. But yeah, they had a bunch. Like Tiesto had a song used pregame between the end of the national. and then the national anthem.
I
So
see. Yeah,
yeah, so but yeah, the waving the flag one was good. The Waka Waka I think it's the one I
the
like the
classic.
most.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
classic.
yeah, waving the flag.
Pitbull was good too.
Yeah, the Pitbull one was good.
Dale.
And
Yeah, dude. He had a good
but
song.
it was gonna be one of the questions I had. I didn't add it to like our little agenda, but for this one,
Even Speed.
yeah, yeah, I Show Speed did one.
Yeah.
But
World
but for
Cup.
yeah, but for this one, they're gonna do Bad Bunny, right? Or you don't think they will? You don't think they'll do Bad Bunny? Have
Uh,
they already announced who's singing it?
yeah, it's a Mexican artist, young dude. He's part of it, and his name's Xavi.
Uh-huh.
And who else was it? I think it was like him, and then a United States artist, and I think a Canada artist. I'm pretty
Okay.
positive that it was that, but
Okay.
I don't remember it. But this is like exactly what I'm saying. Like the World Cup, I remember back in the day, the songs would get you
Hmm.
super hype, and
Yeah.
well, I guess we don't watch TV as much anymore, but
Yeah.
obviously the commercials and
Hmm.
the whole build up to it was cool, but. I feel like something's missing with the World Cup, and maybe this could be it. I mean, three countries, 48 teams. I don't know. It
Yeah.
could be good, but it's
It
really
could be.
weird.
I would say I think if they have Bad Bunny, because like I said, Bad Bunny's U.S. born. He's Puerto Rico. It's part of U.S.
True,
It'd be
true, true.
good. But yeah, I could see the Mexico, Canada, USA,
I I
performer.
I got it here. Carlos Vives, Emilia Mernes, Wizen. Is that Wizen and Yandel? The Wizen part is
Yeah.
yeah. Is that him?
Is
They're
Okay,
it?
doing. Are they doing the song this year
Wizen.
or
Yeah,
for 20?
and then Xavi
Yeah, Xavi. Yeah,
performing a song called Somos Más.
Okay.
I like your Spanish too.
Excellent.
No, dude. It should be fun. Who do you think is the group of death, like Tim and John? Like who do you think is like the hardest out of all the teams? Which group do you think is like the hardest team or teams that everybody's gonna like?
It's gonna be a tough one to get out of.
Yeah, tough one to get out of. And this one's hard to be honest. I couldn't. I was looking at the thing and I was like, damn, who would I pick?
It,
I don't know who would it be.
I know the one Tim shared has a good chance.
Yeah, Group I, right?
Yeah, that's one you said.
That was with France, Senegal, Norway, and
Mm,
the final team is a playoff winner. Do we know who the winner of that one is?
No, it's
Yep.
between
no,
I think it's Bolivia, Suriname, and Iraq. That
A
playoff
lot of
winner.
a lot of people are calling that the group of death. And then a sneaky one was Canada's group, and then John had another one as well. But Group I was the one I saw that,
Yeah,
seems to be difficult.
yeah, yeah.
mm,
Because Norway's the one team that I think it was in Pot C that nobody wanted in their group. That's the one
why?
team that
Oh,
because
because of Holland
Holland,
and
Holland,
yeah,
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 Holland is unstoppable. Like I say, he's finally in
yeah.
a World Cup. It's gonna be awesome to see him. But yeah, I that's the one group that nobody wanted to see. Then the one I had, I don't know what you think, Rob. I have Group L: England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. Panama played pretty well to qualify. I think
It's a good one.
they have a solid team. England unstoppable, but Croatia, I don't. They've always played so well. They're a great team that even though they're very old, they're a lot older. Some of their best players, it's still a team that you can't count out. And then Ghana, the Black Stars,
Oh yeah, dude.
they're a
They're
team
good.
even though they're not ranked too high, it's a scary team to play. So that's why I have Group L. And knowing how England plays sometimes in pressure situations, they choke. They're
Yeah,
big choke
they
artists.
choke all the time.
So that's why I have Group L as probably my group of death.
And you know what's funny? England has the best players in the world, like players that play in Spain
Yeah.
and obviously the England Premier League and
Yeah.
I just don't understand how they don't like. I don't know. It's weird how they choke so
Yeah,
bad. A-
but
And it's funny with lesser
yeah,
teams. So it's weird.
yeah.
Our English viewers are gonna hate that.
I know, right? They're gonna.
But like Alex, it was funny. I saw Alexi Lalas sort of sharing his thoughts, and he's like, the one team that can't win this World Cup because it's in the U.S. is England. He's like, they
Oh
just
yeah,
cannot win it.
yeah, dude.
I think he just says it because of all the history, but like I say, that's a team I think can pull it off if they play perfectly, if they don't make their mistakes the way they have, because they're a very dangerous team.
I
Do you
got
want? Go
oh, go
ahead, Tim.
ahead.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Rob.
Uh,
No, no, you go.
no, I was just gonna say, if you were to have a winner, guys, like, would it be a Europe team or a like a South American team, like any Colombia, Uruguay? Like, who would you prefer? Argentina again? You, you know, to be honest, I don't know. Like, I don't want Argentina to win.
Just over it with them.
That's the Mexican in you, Rob, saying that,
Dude, yeah.
huh?
And I have like four buddies that are Argentinians. Like, and last time when France and Argentina was like playing, I was going crazy, and now like I was posting and like, oh, how can you want to like France to win over like Argentina and like we're the same. I'm like, no, we're not the same, and I hope you guys lose. Yeah, but like, who do you guys prefer? Like a Europe team, anyone from Europe, or like a South American team that you guys prefer that would want to like for the World Cup to win?
Uh, I can go because my answer might be shorter. I don't know. With this question, I'll go based off of ancestry, so Northern European. Um, is Ireland involved in this World Cup at all? Are they any good? Are
Um,
they just
Unfortunately, I
non-existent?
don't think so.
they
Bummer. So just filter that into English,
no,
England.
they're a playoff team, so they can make it into Group A
Ah. Okay.
against
Hey,
Mexico.
Oh yeah, they could. Yeah,
ooh,
yes,
if
yes.
they
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
do, that's my dark horse to defeat Mexico. So sorry, Rob, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah. Tim,
I,
they make it. If they make it, Tim has to buy like an Ireland jersey and then have Jenny wear a Mexico jersey that day.
Oh, dude,
Just-
perfect. I should. I
dude.
will do that. I will do that. And then I'll just buy like, a boot of something and just chug beer out of it. It'll be a great time. But there, I have a German last name, maybe Germany, I
Mhm.
could be a fan of.
That's a good one too.
Um,
Yeah.
Italy you said is part of a playoff. Seems like they'll
Hmm.
make it in, but be a good competitive team as a playoff team. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I don't know.
Dude.
I'm just totally basing it off of ancestry. That's it. So, yeah.
Based on based off your history.
Yeah.
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 What about you,
Uh,
John?
For me, I would want to see USA or Mexico win it. I think just because it's where I'm at, it's friends, family. That's you know Central America. I think we have a tough shot. My teams, either Guatemala or El Salvador, they make it. So I think USA. You, like I say, for me, USA has to play perfect games after the group stage to have a chance, and I think they have a chance. But after that, I think I really don't care who wins it as long as it's a good competitive final. It's an interesting one. The one last
Yeah,
year, like I said, Argentina, France, that was an amazing game. It
dude, it
was
was
it was
good.
so good. And
It
like I
was
say,
really good.
but what I'm excited about it being US, Canada, Mexico is I don't have to be waking up at like 4 a.m. to watch these games. I don't have to be,
True.
the Argentina France final. I think it was like at 8 a.m. I was just laying in bed watching it. It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
fun, but like I say, it's better. These will be probably more like 3, 4 p.m. Going
yeah,
to like a bar or something with everybody and just watching it.
yeah.
It's gonna be so
It
cool.
it makes it more exciting because yeah, you're right. Like watching it at 8, 7 in the morning,
Yeah.
you want to get excited for it, but then dude, like it's so early, and
Yeah.
you have to. But for me, one of my favorite teams out of every World Cup, the one that has been surprising me a lot, and
Yeah.
Japan, dude. Japan has
They
been.
They're
Re-
good.
Remember
Very nice.
They beat Germany
Yeah.
and like they saved Mexico's butt. And
Uh,
they've been getting a lot of good players playing in Europe too.
mhm,
Um, that's one of my favorite underdogs. And of course, I would want Mexico to win, but I mean, I doubt it.
yeah.
The next one I would want Portugal to win because my
Yeah.
favorite player Ronaldo is in there. But yeah, dude, like it would if I would do an order Mexico, Japan, or Mexico, Portugal, and then Japan would be my dark
Your
horse.
third.
But
Yeah.
yeah, the third. But who knows? And soccer is very like I feel like a lot of these lower teams without the throughout the years they haven't been respecting the big
Hmm.
dogs, right? I'll give you another Mexico versus Germany when they
Hmm.
played. Dude, that was even though like I don't know why that game felt like a final,
Yeah.
right? Like I don't know, dude, what it was about that game. Like the players got emotional when they beat them, even though it was 1-0. Like if you go back and look at the highlights or watch the game, it had like a final feel to it.
Hmm.
But I don't know. It's. I think in this World Cup we're going to see a lot of um lesser team surprises. So we'll see.
Yeah, and
Wide
that's what I'm
open.
saying. Like Group L, Panama. That's a team you don't see much, and because like I say, in
Nope.
CONCACAF, because it's U.S., Canada, Mexico, those three teams didn't need to qualify, so we had an extra three spots. So like I say, what's the other team that made it? Curacao, one of the smallest countries to make it.
Oh yes,
Like,
yes,
and they
yes.
they played great to get to the group. Will they do great? It's gonna be hard. They're in the group with Germany, Cote d'Ivory, and Ecuador. That's already a tough group. Ecuador is
That's a
it's a
tough one
it's a
for sure.
scary one. Yeah, and then Suriname, they're in the playoff, so they could still make it, and that's another small country. So it's really cool to see a lot more options. Like one country I thought that was cool to sort of see, but I think they're gonna have a tough time. Is what group were they? New Zealand. Finally seeing New Zealand.
Oh yeah,
You know, because of that
yeah,
extra, making it larger. They were able to qualify. Um, but
yeah.
yeah.
That's very interesting teams for sure. I mean, uh, oh, you know what, John? A little off topic. Um, I don't know if you heard this like rumor of the World Cup. Any team that wins the World Cup, uh, the 4 years after that, they have really bad luck.
Mhm.
That like, have you heard that before?
Yeah.
Like,
I
uh,
you haven't seen a back to back since Brazil. What is it? Like 90, maybe 94? But
yeah, I think it
and
was
then I
like
think
when
that yeah.
Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, like all those
Yeah.
like
Uh,
players. But that's why I'm excited. So I hope
Yeah.
Argentina out
Look what France did. France made it to the finals again. They could have been back to back.
that
So,
that's very very true,
yeah.
and they still have a very
The-
deadly
uh,
team. So
uh,
we'll see what happens with what's his name, France, the main player. I'm having a brain fart.
Mbappe?
Mbappe.
Mbappe. Hmm.
He's and then I think one of the best players is returning, the one that got caught with steroids.
Heyo.
He uh yeah, he
Speaking my language now with the investigations here.
yeah, he's playing for Monaco now. Uh, what's his
Oh.
name? He played for Manchester United, but then he got caught. He
Uh,
was getting like, oh, I forget, tall dude. I forget his name. I'm having a big brain fart. But I think
the
FIFA is letting him play. Well, he's been playing now.
With the
Pogba?
roids?
I forget.
Paul Pogba? Pogba?
Pogba.
Pogba?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So he's back. It should
Yeah,
be
Still in
very
the
interesting
system
to
or
see. I don't know,
maybe.
dude. Like, you know, it's just like these
hey.
players. I mean, I don't know how they regulate the drug testing. To be honest, in soccer, or if they even.
Hmm.
I don't know how he got caught. To be honest, but I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I
Oh.
have to look into it more of why, because I know the one thing, and there's always, I don't know if you guys have seen the videos of people comparing like soccer players to other sports stars, saying there's this one video of like comparing NBA players to soccer players and saying NBA is a lot harder than soccer. When I think of it, I see why NBA is a little harder. It's harder to get into, but man, soccer, you run 90 minutes, two 45-minute halves. You don't take a break, and kicking a ball, it's not as easy, I think, as people think. It's hard, to be so accurate. And I know people get bored because it's 0-0, but it's like it's a tactical game, compared to the NBA.
Yeah, hey,
Yeah,
I can
I
vouch
think.
for that as
Well,
like a Joe Schmo. Real quick, sorry, real quick.
no, you're good. You're good.
Last time I played organized soccer was probably middle school, like seventh grade. There's a place up here in Oakland or Berkeley. It's like an indoor soccer arena.
Hmm.
Like there's several fields. It's a really cool spot. And I primarily played defense, a little bit of goalie. Um, and I tried to score, but there's one thing in particular where I was totally not. I honestly just wanted to kick the shit out of the ball one time. So I kicked it and it went like over a beam on the top part of the rafters. And I just felt like a total bad lesson. I can say it was, that was like my biggest accomplishment the whole time because I had terrible accuracy with kicking. Throwing, I'm great throwing, but
Hmm.
kicking the ball, I can vouch for that. That is extremely difficult for anybody who doesn't practice it religiously.
And then to be honest, I think both sports are really hard. Basketball is really
Hmm.
hard too.
Yeah.
But I feel like when people compare it, it's like you're comparing like bananas to apples or whatever. It's not
Yeah.
Yeah.
apples to apples. It's like a whole different thing. I could see the correlation because, well, one's a court and one's a field, but like,
Hmm.
and they both run back and forth. But I mean, I could say the same thing. I don't really have good hand coordination or throwing,
Hmm.
but I
Yeah.
do have good feet coordination. And like how Tim says, he doesn't have good feet coordination, but he has good hand coordination. It's
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's it's hard to compare them. Um, I just enjoy both, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um, you know, uh, who's fitter? I mean, I don't. If you're a professional, I guess you both have to be really
You
fit.
have to
But
be, unless you're
yeah,
Zion
so.
Williamson.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. But we'll see. Well, it's interesting too because then in the NBA you're playing against 7 foot tall
Hmm. Oh yeah.
monsters, and then in soccer you're playing against like my height, 5'7", five
Uh,
six to like I mean there's some 6 foot players, but
hmm.
in soccer you don't have to be tall. I mean look at Messi, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Five,
call
five,
him.
6.
But yeah, tiny dude.
Hmm.
And even in my experience, when I played Oxnard College too, um, there's sometimes I had in other college teams there was
Hmm.
the whole team was like 6 foot, like right, and then you think they look so monstrous, but they're gonna. But in soccer, that's not a fact.
Hmm.
When you're body to body, maybe like trying to fight the ball, like, but no, it's not really like I wouldn't say it's not.
Yeah.
It's more mental than anything, but physically, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But
The fouls are similar now with flopping, like look at
uh,
SGA, Shea Gilgeous Alexander would be a fantastic soccer
He
player
would
because
be.
that
I
just a
know,
brush of wind
right?
will knock that dude over, but he'll play it great. So yeah, that's a great similarity right there. But
Hmm.
physicality wise, they're I feel like they're the energy levels you need. Like look at Steph, like that dude I think runs 5 miles a game.
Hmm.
It's they're both very like you can run
Yeah.
marathons if you play either sport,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
No, for sure.
I had
Um,
two quick
mhm.
follow-up questions for you guys.
Go for it.
These um one because I'm at times low-key fat ass. What do we think the food situation is at these stadiums and how much do you think it varies? Like do you think SoFi, Bay Area, and then, a Canada stadium or a Mexico stadium, they're going to stay with traditional foods of like what they typically serve there? Or do you think they'll mix it up a bit and kind of go towards like food genres of countries that are currently playing in that stadium?
Um, I think in United States and Canada, I think maybe even Mexico too, dude. I think they're gonna stay what they are used to, the hot dogs and hamburgers for the United States.
Yeah, no lie.
No.
Like
Chicken tendies.
yeah, all the glazies,
Yeah.
everybody coming. But I mean, I don't know, because when has United States and Canada ever hosted uh World Cup, John? Ever? That
US
I
has 90, was it 94? 90 in the
I think
US.
yeah,
I
you're right.
think
Yeah.
Brazil won it. Um, it's gonna be hard just because the stadiums already have their kitchens, they have their menus, they have licensings and contracts with these vendors. But I think like SoFi, they always do special things depending
Mhm.
on like who's there. So I think they may like some of the bigger name stadiums in USA, Mexico, and Canada may try to throw in like one different menu item. Might not be like related to the country's playing, but just something different, fancy. Um, but I think, you know, I think
Yeah.
Mexico will have the best food.
Yeah, for sure. I think they'll have the best food, but I don't think anyone's changing anything for. Like I said, John. I think depends on the bigger the team, maybe,
Hmm.
right? The
Yeah.
bigger the players, the bigger the stars, and
Yeah.
depends how many people they attract on the team.
Yeah.
They'll do something, but if it's like smaller country
Yeah.
team, like I highly doubt they're gonna do
Yeah.
anything.
It might be more just the drinks, the alcoholic drinks, or like even the non-alcoholic.
Oh yeah.
An Argentinian splash of something. That's what they'll call it when
Nice.
Argentina plays in there, and then they'll have the same drink, but just put a different food coloring, call it something for Ecuador or Scotland. A different color shade, Brazil, something. An AMF, but call it something Brazilian.
There you go.
You know.
For for real, dude. Get all the
Nice.
Brazilians drunk. Yeah.
Yeah.
The tailgate situation might be crazy too. That,
I'm
let's see how different
I'm
countries
cur
tailgate.
I'm curious if they'll allow the tailgating the way they do with football.
They should.
They
I
should,
think
but
I think they are. I think even in Qatar they were tailgating. People were doing it. That people that couldn't get
Nice.
into
hmm,
the stadium, they would watch the games outside. And I think every
yeah.
country kind of allows it to a
Mhm.
certain point. And dude, if they'll let, I'm pretty sure United States and Canada, even Mexico, that's a big money grab, right? They're gonna have
Mhm.
vendors
Oh
outside,
yeah.
music, and it's a big party for sure. So I think all the three countries for sure they're gonna allow it because I mean, why not? It's money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
think they will.
Nice. All right. And then my second part of the question, non-food related this time, guys,
Mhm.
is going to be about travel distance. Obviously, we're going across three countries. Do you know of any country that like have they kind of mapped this out? Like, is there any country that has to travel further than others, or are they keeping everybody pretty localized maybe until the final games, or?
Mm,
Um.
I had read something about that was a big debate.
Mm,
Some players, some not players, but some teams were kind of complaining about the travel situation.
hmm
I don't really know how it's working yet, but uh, you know, it could be, sorry, it could be how you said to him, like the travel playoff situations. They might have to go to Canada, or
hmm
from
Mhm.
Canada all the way to Mexico when the players are going to be tired, and that and to be honest, that plays a big factor on a player's like psychic or like
Mhm.
mentally, like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm so tired and we just played like 2 days ago and you know,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
it's something that people were debating and it should be interesting to see how they handle the logistics of it, to be honest.
So it's already set up because all the matches are set up, all the games are set up.
Okay.
So Group A, the Mexico group. UEFA winner playoff D, so whoever wins that playoff spot, they're traveling 2,811 miles for all their games. Just group stage. This is just group stage.
Damn.
Wow. That's a lot.
Mexico traveling 580 miles total.
Oh, that's insane. What an
So
Dude.
advantage.
Mexico, like I say, the in Group B, UEFA winner player A, 3,144. The next one is Canada with 2,084. So almost an extra 1,000 miles for that UEFA winner. Um, the lowest, South Korea. South Korea in Group A, 396 miles. They're barely traveling much.
Nice.
Another one, USA, 1,930 miles. So they're traveling quite a bit.
That's a lot,
Uh,
actually.
mhm.
Damn,
Let's see.
dude. So some of them like are really disadvantaged, and
Yeah,
that's crazy. Honestly, I
yeah,
did.
mhm,
That's the thing that I didn't know. Honestly,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that's
So
really crazy.
Argentina, 461 miles.
Ah, come on.
Oh, let's go try it. That's
France, 334 miles.
Okay.
Like I say, they're getting
damn.
it good. Like I say, Spain's gonna have a tough one, 1,469. Uh, England 1721. So they already have it for the group stages, based off where they were picked. Panama 336. Yeah, Argentina's got it nice.
Yeah.
They're gonna say pretty much local. Group I
Well,
is the one that travels the least. Their highest FIFA winner playoff two, 590 miles, and then Norway 341, Senegal 336, France 334. And I think they're
mm.
playing East Coast, like Boston, New York, New Jersey area, Philly.
Wait,
Nice.
John, do they have where the final's gonna be at?
Mm,
Yeah,
okay.
everything's been decided. I think is it Mercedes-Benz? It's not
In-
SoFi. Or
Atlanta.
it might be Dallas.
Oh,
Ah,
MetLife.
so in
sports.
United
No,
States.
no, no. It's
Oh, okay.
MetLife Stadium.
Oh,
Oh,
MetLife.
wow.
MetLife. Yeah,
Oh,
it's in
New York.
July, so
New Jersey.
weather should be okay. Um,
Damn, that's crazy, dude. Yeah,
It's gonna be
so
yeah,
muggy.
yeah.
East Coast. Summer.
yeah,
Oof.
it should be interesting for sure.
Yeah, so everything's set up, like all the games, like I say, um, the rounds, finals there, third
Hold on, real quick.
place. See, third place is in Miami Hard Rock. Um, but yeah, everything's set up. I think we get a semifinal here in LA. Um, maybe, or is
Um,
it a quarterfinal?
and are they still doing the drawing system, or like to buy tickets? Can you buy tickets already? I mean, I don't think so, right?
The next round of tickets is tomorrow.
Oh, is it? Damn,
Yeah.
dude.
So, and I think that was going to be one of my questions because I saw like someone bought tickets and I think it was on TikTok. Let me see if I can find it. But they spent a high amount of money and then the draw came and they had one of the worst games that they have tickets for.
For
And it's like I say, it sucks. Yes, you're going to a World Cup, but it's like you're not even watching that great of a game. And I think one of the questions I was gonna have for you guys is, should they have waited to sell tickets until this draw happened so they know what games they're going to? Because like I say, that person that bought the tickets, I'm trying to see if I can find it, like to resell the ticket, he might not even be able to get as much as he paid for because not many people may want to pay that much to go see those teams. So, is it a little messed up that they sold the tickets beforehand before even knowing who was playing in those matches?
yeah, I think that's one of the. I'm in a group chat with a bunch of my soccer buddies, and we were kind of like, I think a couple of them did get tickets, maybe one or two of them, but
Uh-huh.
I don't know what game they are going to. But see, that's frustrating. I think their ticket system should be like, yeah, it should be like certain people should get tickets, but
Hmm.
because obviously the whole world wants to go see a certain teams or whatever. But But I think people should be allowed to see what they are paying for, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how sophisticated their system is to like keep up,
Hmm.
but if they spend like hundreds and thousands of dollars, I think I'm reading right now that like the cheapest ticket would be like $60, and then it
Hmm.
could go up to like 6,700 depending
Yeah.
on the what game you're
Yeah.
watching. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It's kind of
It
FIFA is it's all about money, dude.
it's
At the end
corrupt
of the
too.
day,
It's corrupt
yeah,
too. But
it's
yeah.
corrupt.
So this guy spent 1,860 on World Cup tickets, and he got tickets
Damn.
for Belgium versus Iran. Which, like I said, Belgium's
Yeah.
okay, but like it's
Yeah.
not gonna be like an amazing game, and that's a high price point. I don't know where he got his tickets for, what section. But it's like, can he sell his tickets back to at least to break even or get a little bit more? I doubt anybody's gonna pay that for that type of game.
I mean, unless you're from that country,
Yeah, no,
maybe.
yeah, but like I say, but it's also like if you're from that country, if they're like I said, I don't know where the seats are, but if they're not even that great, why am I going to spend that much on those tickets when I could
True.
go barbecue with the family,
Yep, true.
but you could buy a 90 screen flat inch TV for probably like $800 nowadays,
I know, yeah, true,
and
true.
and a nice sound system, and it's going to sound better than that.
Yeah, if you're far away, yeah, for sure. I totally agree. I mean, yeah, that's a bummer. I mean, goddamn, like spending that much money, like
Hmm.
with then watching Belgium versus Iran, like really,
Yeah.
like bro. And
Shout out
how's the?
Belgium and Iran.
I know,
Just
right?
kidding.
But there's no refunds, right, John? I mean, once they buy
Hmm.
them, they
Hmm.
that's it.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I mean,
Yeah.
goddamn, dude, like.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's sort of messed up. It sucks. I think, and I don't know if FIFA will listen to us, but I think the best way they could do it is like the pre-sale tickets before the draw should just be for like quarterfinals, finals, semifinals. Because like I said, no matter who's in those games, you're gonna watch it because you know it's gonna be a good game. But when it comes
Mhm.
down to group stages, you don't start selling those until once, the brackets have been placed, the draw has happened because now okay, these games are in LA, like it's either I'm gonna try to bid on these or I need to travel to, Toronto to go see my team, or go see a game
Yeah.
that I want to see. Because like you mentioned, people are gonna want to see Belgium, Qatar, Belgian people from Qatar, they're gonna want to see it. But it's like there's a few of us that we might not be tourists interested because it could have been a different team. It could have been Argentina, Brazil, depending on how
Uh,
the draw happened. And if that would have happened, like everybody would want to go there. So it's like, hey, I think that's how it should happen in the future. Is like do the semifinals, quarterfinals, all the playoff games prior, but group stage should wait until we know what the group stage are, who the games are, because it'll just be more interesting for fans, and like I said, they can at least get their money worth.
and and also, I think people are like scared of scams. I think a lot of people, to be honest, they're gonna get scammed this World Cup.
Hmm.
They are gonna get people are gonna be reselling tickets that are not, you know,
Hmm.
that are not real tickets. But you know what? I'm really interested to see how many people are gonna invade the fields.
Ooh.
It happens every time. So, or people like YouTubers or some random guy at the YouTube
Is
sneaking into the
is
stadiums.
Vitali available or is he
All
gonna
right,
slow
I
down
know,
the
dude.
game?
I,
Yeah.
I I think he's locked up.
Oh,
Oh
is he?
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
Yeah, I think he's locked up in some other country.
not available.
uh, yeah. I
Oh,
think for a lot of
Philippines,
years.
right? He might
Yeah,
be in
Philippines. Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
might be Philippines.
No, he just got released 20 hours ago. It says
Oh my gosh, that's
Really?
he
weird timing. Damn,
released from jail.
that's crazy timing.
What?
Because he was there like a year. It's been a long time.
Yeah,
I thought he
yeah.
was gonna spend more time. They were saying that he was gonna do like,
It was an early release just from this quick thing. So,
uh, that's crazy. That's really weird that we.
Yeah, that's crazy timing.
Yeah.
But
Well.
yeah, no, storming the field's definitely one thing. I feel
mhm.
like that's just a popular thing that, forever in history, especially in the States, it's always happened. So, that's a good point. Wonder if, any theatrics are going to happen. And then is there like pre-game performances, halftime shows for these, or no? Is that like for the final only?
I think it's more for the final, the big
Okay.
games. I don't think they'll do it for the group stages. They may have like someone come out for national anthem and stuff like that, but I
Hmm.
don't think they will do like
Yeah, no.
a performance
E
half.
each team like they get to sing their national anthem, and then I
Yeah.
think for the inauguration, like Mexico and they might do a performance there because it's the first game.
Yeah.
Mm,
But yeah, then after that they wait until like
Yeah.
the final. So
Yeah.
got it.
And, and
Okay.
and the performance is only like before the game. They're not going to do it at halftime. It's like they're going to do a whole spectacle for like the first 2 hours before the first game and
mhm.
2 hours before the last game.
Got
Yep.
Um,
it.
so, but yeah, um, yeah, we'll see. I was gonna ask you, Rob, because like I say, one of the things, we talked about it with Tim. If Ireland makes it, he's gonna buy a jersey,
Oh
Mexico
yeah.
jersey. You a fan of it?
Yeah, I'm a yeah, it's like generic, you know.
Yeah,
It's their Adidas always makes like they always kind of make the same jerseys for any team that's an Adidas.
yeah,
I mean, you look at the MLS teams, they
yeah,
all the only difference is the colors, really.
yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, I support uh like I like Japan's jersey to be like that's one of my
The
favorite
Japan, yeah.
jerseys. Yeah, like the blue and
Hmm.
it's really nice. I'm not really a fan of other France is nice too because I like the color blue.
Yeah.
Um and I hate to say even Argentina's is like a little their flag is
Argentina's Argentina's
it's
is
nice.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
we'll see how. But talking about like now that you were talking about Argentina, what do you think about also Ronaldo and Messi playing their last the World Cup, dude?
It
It's crazy.
it's awesome. Like I say, if they make it to the final together, that'd be like the dream final. One of them
Dude,
winning
that would
it,
be
and if Ronaldo wins it, finally getting it in his final time. Um, it's bittersweet because, like I say, when are you going to see two big guys in the league like this again? Mbappe is probably the next closest, but there isn't anybody like Messi and Ronaldo, you know, cut like that. Saka, he's good, but he's not the guy. Vinny's not the guy. Mbappe's by
nah.
himself. There's nobody that competes with Mbappe other than Yamel. If he could turn it around, get good in a few years, it could be that. But even
I
that,
could see that. I could see
yeah,
they're playing that narrative already where
hmm,
yeah, Yamal and Mbappe they're trying to like make them go head to head.
yeah,
I like the kid, but then
he's cocky.
like he just does some cocky stuff, dude. Like of course when like did you see like the post that he put when he played the
Hmm.
Euros versus Spain, right?
Yeah,
Like and he was just saying that he was gonna score a banger like how he did
yeah,
versus I forgot who it was. France or I
yeah,
don't know what's yeah, was it France?
hmm,
Right? And he's just cocky and then like um I mean he's real good. Don't get me wrong. He's really good, but when he played against Portugal in the final, like he was having the worst game of his life.
yeah,
So, you
yeah.
know,
But
um
I don't even think he's 21 though. That's the one thing to remember.
yeah, dude,
He's a kid.
yeah, he is a kid and then but see that's the thing. There's lots of like upcoming players that are his age and
Hmm.
um even his partner like his one of his teammates Gavi from
Gavi,
he
yeah,
plays for yeah, he's 21
yeah,
too and he's a kid. I mean, kind of but I don't know. We'll see.
yeah,
Like in this sport, a lot of things could happen.
hmm,
It either could humble him or make him one of the biggest stars
yeah,
that we have seen. So,
yeah.
uh, yeah, we'll see. And as for Ronaldo and Messi, dude, yeah, that'll be sick. I heard that they might actually, if they do good, they could play. against each other. Uh,
Um,
let me
I would
see.
have to look at the group, like how they do the groups, but they possibly could, because
That'd be sick.
they're both they both might come out on top of their group. Because Argentina should be top of that group. Portugal might be second. Colombia, I think, could give them a little
Colum
trouble.
Colombia is this. They're really good right now.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
have really good team. So
yeah. So if they're second, they could face Argentina possibly immediately, depending on how that draw is. But because I think that's already set up too. But yeah, it's legendary to see those two make it to their final World Cup. I didn't think we were going to see Messi again after the last one. Him winning, I thought he was just going to retire, but I think he feels it. And after winning
yeah,
the MLS Cup with Inter Miami,
I was gonna say
he,
that. Yeah,
he's on a high
big
right
time.
now. He's on a
Yeah.
high.
yeah. I mean, it's pretty impressive. I mean, the team is they stacked that team to the T, dude. I
Yeah,
think like 9 out of the 11 players were Argentina,
yeah,
and they were like, I think some of the Argentina players were like no name players, but he brought them up, and
hmm,
I think now they have a chance to play with the Argentina team.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, kudos to him for sure for winning the MLS Cup. It's not
yeah,
easy to do, even though MLS is not like really high level of soccer.
yeah,
Um, I think with the players that they had, it was pretty good because I mean, you have some of the players that he played with in Barcelona, like what's his name? The guy that bites a lot and bites ears.
uh,
Mike Tyson.
I know, right?
no, he's from
Uruguay.
Uruguay. Luis, is it
Luis
Luis?
Suarez. Yeah,
Luis,
Luis
yeah,
Suarez.
Suarez. Yeah, Luis Suarez.
And
Wow. Bites
Yeah,
ears?
and
Oh,
dude,
but
he's
rah,
he bites shoulders.
rah.
by
Yeah, if
shoulders
you see
and
the one picture,
Ooh,
he's like that.
yeah,
You see
yeah.
his
damn.
face is like that, biting someone.
Wow.
I was just like, it's
They
hilarious.
they called him the rat
Ooh.
because like back in the day, he still has like really big front teeth,
Uh,
but I think he fixed them kind of. But back in the day when he was like playing for Liverpool, you're wearing the jersey. Matter of fact, it's
yeah.
funny. Uh,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Is that what this team is? Okay.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, he has a track record because even with Patrick, I forget his last name. Remember, John? He did like yeah, it was a big old controversy. They were calling him a racist because each team when they go and shake the hands, like the
Mhm.
shaking and whatever before the game. Well, he
Yeah,
didn't want to shake Patrick Evra's hand, and then
yeah,
he Patrick like grabbed them and like trying to force him to shake his hand, which is but
yeah,
And then
yeah,
he
he has
bit
a
him.
track record.
yeah. He
I,
has a track record of biting. It's unfortunate.
they should bring him out on a leash.
Dude,
Just like
well,
let it go on all fours.
well, recently in MLS, they lost to the Seattle Sounders, and he was so
Ooh.
pissed. He spit on like one of their staff members,
Mhm.
and
Big
it's
mouth guy.
crazy. Yeah, dude. Yeah, yeah, and that him spitting should have like he should have been kicked off like the MLS because I think there
Yep.
was another player in the MLS. So he spit at someone else, and
Jamar
they
Chase.
Yeah.
right.
One game suspension, fine.
Yeah.
Uh,
Jalen Carter.
It's yeah, it's crazy, but like I said, Messi, big ups to him. I mean, he was able to pull it off. I mean,
yeah.
the
Is
people,
with Messi though, is that new narrative? He can't do it by himself. Has to get his all of his buddies and then like the big three, like LeBron. Is he the LeBron of MLS?
I think so, dude.
You think
John
so?
wouldn't,
Oh,
John wouldn't admit it
yeah.
'cause that's his favorite player, but
No.
like, but
It's a different game though because you
John, big
can't win it all
LeBron
by
fan.
yourself.
Just kidding. I know it's about Messi.
It's
but
different, like because put Ronaldo in an MLS team. Could he do it without support?
Ooh,
I don't know,
ooh.
dude, because it's a good because we have this debate with all like my like the Do you think the Saudi league is harder than the MLS league?
Oh,
I
Uh,
I personally think it is, dude. Because you saw Inter
yeah,
Miami, they played Saudi teams,
yeah.
and they got demolished. But at the same time, Messi didn't play. So I
hmm
mean,
Eh, it, it's hard to say. It could be a little harder just because, and I think what would make it harder is they pay the money. You know,
uh,
if ML if MLS
sorry
had the
guys,
money, yeah,
hold on, I have an emergency.
yeah,
no,
Something's
you're
going
good.
on. Hold on.
yeah. But like if MLS would pay what Saudi money could pay to have players,
Imagine.
it'd be different.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Did Beckham or Ibrahimovic ever win anything? I know they were like both studs when they came and played for the Galaxy, but
Um,
did they ever win?
Ibrahimovic didn't. David Beckham, I don't know if he did in MLS.
Because I'm wondering, maybe is Messi maybe the first like superpower to come to the MLS and actually win?
No, so he did win two titles with LA
Mm.
Galaxy in 11 and 12.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
he won twice.
that's good.
Yeah. I forget that's when the LA Galaxy had a pretty solid team, so
Hmm.
um
Hey guys,
it's
I'm
Yeah, no,
yeah.
you're good, brother.
all
So
right, no worries.
yeah,
Hope he
thank
feels
you guys
better.
for having me on. I
All
appreciate it.
right,
We'll finish the conversation some
another
other day.
time. Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, so thank you
Go be
guys.
a dad.
Yeah.
No, you're good, Rob.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much,
I'm
man.
sorry, dude. I feel so bad, but
It's all
No,
good. No
no,
worries.
no. I
you
hope
know,
Rodrigo's good, brother.
yeah, because
Yeah.
Kim was
Take care.
But no, yeah, Beckham won it, so I think he's the first player to win it and now owner to win it. So kudos to him. But
Okay.
World Cup, like I say, it's exciting. We'll get more info. We're 6 months away, summer of 26. So we're prepping. Teams are gonna start practicing. Um, I'm starting to look at jerseys, trying to see what I'm gonna get, what I can
I already
afford.
look at Ireland's. If they don't
Yeah.
make it, I need a backup team, John.
Yeah. Well, you said you're
Germany's in
German.
it.
Germany's
Germany's
in
in
it.
it, right?
They always have
Uh,
solid jerseys too.
yeah, yeah. Let me look at Germany's jerseys, real quick here.
Yeah,
Uh,
I always get a Germany one. I've gotten the last two
oh,
because I liked it.
oh, cool. Okay, nice.
I'm a Germany fan in
Oh,
soccer.
yeah, these look
In soccer.
sick. These look really
Yeah,
good. The white
yeah,
with the flag colors,
yep,
black, red and yellow,
yeah,
kind of maroonish, I
hmm
guess. Yeah,
yeah,
no, that's a solid
yeah,
jersey. Maybe I'll
yeah.
just do that
They
if
always do
Ireland
good.
doesn't. I
If they
looked at
don't make it,
Ireland's jersey. It's really plain Jane and green. They
yeah,
could have done more.
yeah. It's a little ombre because it's like different shades of it, but yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm seeing a long sleeve version. Do players often wear the long sleeve, or is it mainly just the short sleeve?
So some players do. Some players
Okay,
do.
let me be official here.
When I played soccer, I always played. We never had long sleeves, in the clubs I would play. I played in the cheap clubs because I was just cheap. But I'd always just wear a long sleeve under. I was always a long sleeve player. So
Got you. Okay. Yeah, because I got choices, John.
yeah,
Dick's Sporting Goods got it. Fanatics. Yeah, maybe the long sleeve. That's kind of a good look, you know?
yeah,
Like, yeah, maybe I'll do that. It's kind of
yeah,
maybe I'll go for the Germans. I like it.
yeah. Yeah, no, Germany has a good one. USA, I'm not too stoked on it. It looks a little bit better than their previous one. Um, but we'll see if I decide to get that one.
Yeah, let me look at that one too. Jerseys
The
are a
the
big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, the away one looks pretty cool with the black with the blue and red stripes. Um,
Yeah. Yep.
so the
Okay.
white one, the home one, not the biggest fan of the home. So,
Is it kind of like the camo look that you're looking at?
yeah,
Yeah. With the stars making the camo look, like the
hmm
faded stars.
yeah,
Yeah. I like the German one.
yeah,
Might do that. Looks pretty sick.
yeah,
Big jersey guy.
yeah. No, so am I. That's why I always look at all of them. So excited to see what comes out towards closer to the World Cup. But yeah, that's that's World Cup talk. Just a little bit about that. Next we'll go into college football. Uh,
Oh yeah.
College football. We had a championship week happen. Some big games. Indiana beating Ohio State, giving Ohio State the first loss. Um, but I don't know if this one's accurate. Indiana
Um,
was Indiana number one?
yes, Indiana
Yeah,
because they beat Ohio State, but
Ohio's.
they are number
Okay.
one. But yeah,
Yeah.
let
Okay.
me.
'Cause so tell me. I think this is actually correct, but let me know. So Indiana got the first seed. Ohio State number two. Georgia three. Texas Tech four. Then we got JMU versus Oregon, 12 versus 5.
Yep.
Alabama versus Oklahoma, 9 versus 8. Tulane versus Ole Miss, 11 versus 6. And Miami versus Texas A&M, 10 versus
You're
7.
exactly right. You're
Okay.
exactly right.
So this
I
one's
wish we
correct.
would have seen North Texas beat Tulane, but they did not come through. Uh, our guy Messenberger, good game at the end.
Yeah.
Started off hot. They were up 7-0, and then I think they got down by like close to 30, man. Like
Oh man.
they were getting kind of hosed, and then they made a late little, maybe garbage time comeback, but he still threw for a
Yeah.
ton of yards. I still have a lot of belief in him. He's only a freshman. A lot to build off of. Maybe transfer portal. I guess we'll
hmm
see. But I mean, you bring a North Texas team in I think they're ranked 25th. If you can rank a North Texas team,
Yeah.
props to you.
Yeah.
Likewise with Tulane. Tulane, competitive team. They've been good under their current head coach. Going up against Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin's old squad there. It's going to be a good game. I think Ole Miss is going to take that though. But another team that I'm happy to see. I just love the way that this playoff is kind of made up because I really like seeing teams like James Madison make it.
hmm
And now we have a little bit of some diversity in these things. We're not just watching powerhouses play each other.
Yeah.
But JMU getting involved, it's a good team.
hmm Yeah, they're a good team. It looks good. Tulane, JMU. I know there's a lot of talk. Ole Miss, we talked about them.
Hmm.
They're you know, they made it in even without their coach. We'll see how they end up doing. Miami and Texas A&M, with one loss, becoming number seven, looks like for me it feels pretty low, but hey, I've seen how they sort of find all the rankings. Um, but
I
yeah,
have to get this real
Indiana,
quick, John. Keep
yeah.
talking.
No, yeah, but Indiana number one, well deserved beating Ohio State. Ohio State was an amazing team, playing great. I think they'll probably meet possibly, in the national championship game. But, some of the big thoughts and some of the big news coming out of college football and just the rankings is first one, Notre Dame not making it and then declining to attend a bowl game. A lot of controversy. People are a little frustrated. Some people are talking about it, saying that they're selfish. It's not a great look, but I roll a little bit on both sides. Notre Dame, it is a great team. Uh, Unfortunately, they didn't make it. I think their team, if Notre Dame would have made the playoffs, they could have made a little run for it. They started off really badly, and their loss to Miami is what you could say took them out of these playoffs, the playoff hopes for the college football. Um, but it's a team that if would have made it in, I think they could have made a little run. If they would have taken that number 10 versus Miami, if they could have gotten past Texas A&M, they would have faced Ohio State, which would be an amazing game, Ohio State Notre Dame. But them not accepting a bowl invite, declining to attend the bowl. I I was talking to Tim. I'm 50-50 with it. I think it's unfortunate because Notre Dame is a great school, great team to see in a bowl game and winning a bowl. But at the same time, like I say, if that's a decision the entire team made, I applaud them and support them. Now if it's just a school that made this decision and the players wanted to play, that's a shady move from the school not letting them play. They should have let whoever wanted to play, enjoy that bowl game, especially for the seniors graduating. But I think also NIL money, these seniors trying to stay healthy, some of them weren't going to play. They were going to sit out, get ready for the combine, get ready for the draft. And it was just that type of look. So I don't feel too. I'm not too angry about it. Like I say, it's unfortunate. If you've listened to us since last year, I'm a Notre Dame fan. I would have wished to see them in the playoffs. I would have wished to see them in the bowl game, but not going to be crying about it. I still think some of the bowl games are fun and interesting to watch, but I think with the college football playoffs now, they aren't as prestige, I would say, as they used to be. Because the big bowl games, the Rose Bowl, that's all part of the playoffs. So we'll see what others think. There's a lot of people talking about it, and then the other thing that came up, in reports and something we've discussed is, should there be changes in college football? One of the big things is, some people complaining Tulane, JMU shouldn't be in there because that's pretty much giving Oregon and Ole Miss a win. These non-big schools making it and not making the college football entertaining, it is the concern some people had, and I see some of it. So yeah, so JMU, Tulane, playing like I said, Tim sort of touched on it a little bit. Fun to watch. Great teams, did amazing, ranked. Did what they did to do to make it based off the playoff format. But there's other people saying like this format should be sort of changed up a bit because a team like Notre Dame, Texas, a Texas team that started off not too strong but ended up beating some very high ranked teams, they should have made it. And I think if they would have made it, they would have made a run. They took down Texas A&M's perfect season. You could call Vanderbilt another team that could have, should have made it, would have been great, having Diego Pavia in the college football, playoffs would have been must-see TV. Everybody's watching Diego Pavia, so and Vanderbilt's played an amazing season. Having them miss out, it's unfortunate. And then other teams that made it, Alabama really did struggle this year, and them making it over Notre Dame, there's a lot of questions with the system and with what college football has done. And I think this is, depending on how this goes, I do see a little bit of a change possibly in the future with the seedings, which teams make it. I think those schools like JMU, Tulane, in their conferences, one of the options I heard is if if for them to make it, yes, they have their win their conference championship, but for them also to make it to the college football playoffs, they should be like at least a top 15 team or a certain ranking. They shouldn't just get in because they won that conference championship because sometimes their conferences aren't the you know most competitive, and who they played. Because I'm looking at the Tulane schedule, they played Northwestern one, they lost against Ole Miss 45-10. After that, the next best team with North Texas this past weekend, losing to them. So they're playing Ole Miss again, on December 20th, a team they already lost to. So, you could sort of expect the same to happen. But who knows? Towards Ole Miss is a team that has struggled or lost their coach, Lane Kiffin, going to LSU. It's going to be an interesting one to see. But Let's see what else about college football. Those are changes that should happen. Another thing, Heisman finalists. We have our Heisman finalists for this college football season. Our four finalists, we have Fernando Mendoza out of Indiana, Diego Pavia out of Vanderbilt, Julian Sayin out of Ohio State, and Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame. Um, Great candidates. We were talking with Tim earlier before the podcast, the show today, and we both we think Fernando Mendoza will be the clear cut winner. Um, Julian saying I think will be number two. After that, Jeremiah Love, but Diego Pavia, he's been advocating for himself, saying he should be the Heisman winner. Uh, I think he should be proud that he made it as a Heisman finalist. Um, I I see a world where he could win it, but I don't think it should be him. In my opinion, I think Mendoza played a way better season, took this team to number one and into the college football playoffs. And like I say, they took down a giant, powerhouse of Ohio State. So I think he should be getting it. But we'll see. Diego Pavia, we had our take. More show than an actual good player. I know there's a lot of people that think he's going to be a high draft pick. Tim and I think we think otherwise. We think it's a lot of bravado, a lot of show. Great player. I think he did well, but I don't think he will be a top pick in the NFL draft. I think he might still get drafted, but in the late rounds. But like I say, he had a good season, played some great teams, won, but also lost some big games. I think if he would have won that Alabama game, you could say he got spanked a little bit, 30-14, then lost to Texas. That was a close game, but lost to Texas 34-31. Took down a good Tennessee team, Missouri, took down LSU, which was a team that was struggling, and then South Carolina. He could do pretty well. So we'll see what he does um, in the future. Diego Pavia, a lot of hype for this guy. At the quarterback position, a senior. Um, but yeah, as far as Heisman finalist, kudos to him. But I don't think he will be our Heisman winner this year. I think it will be Fernando Mendoza, and I think Fernando Mendoza will also be a top player in the NFL draft this coming year. Um, and then yeah, that's college football playoffs. Like I say, I'm excited to see it. The first round will happen between December 19th, 20th, so right before the weekend, the week before Christmas. We'll have some good games, and then in New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, we'll have the quarterfinals. Um, but yeah, if I had to pick a team out of everybody here winning road wise, I like I said, I think I have Ohio State, Indiana in the national championship game. Um, Texas Tech, I think, could make a run. So can Oregon's always a dangerous team, but I see them having a rematch for the national champion. Um, but yeah, that's my thought. Miami, crazy to see them. Carson Beck, going from Georgia to Miami and in the playoffs again. So, if he could get past A&M, get past Ohio State, and then Georgia getting past either Ole Miss or Tulane, a rematch against his old team would be interesting to see if he could take them down. Um, Alabama, Oklahoma will be another good game. But yeah, that's college football. Like I say, I'm excited to see what's going to happen with the college football. Um, and then we'll go. I'll go a little bit. Tim had an emergency to take care of. A little bit into fantasy football recap. There's some leagues that are getting into the playoff season. Um, our main, I always call it our money league. This was our last week prior to the playoffs. Tim and I, we run a joint team. Unfortunately, we did get a nice little L this week. But we were already sort of eliminated out of the playoffs. And one of the conversations that we were going to discuss with Rob before he had to head out was just some of the moves, and especially with picking up players in the waiver wires in the playoffs or leading up to the playoffs. When you're a team that isn't in the competition to win the championship, belt, ring, trophy, whatever for your fantasy league, is it okay to pick up a player if you're not in the championship or in the playoffs, or is it a bit of a shady move trying to take a player away from someone? And I I've always had two thoughts on this, but I think I'm gonna lean more that I think it's okay. It's you have to be pretty good. You can't just rely on the waiver wire, and I think to to pick up a player and you're getting frustrated that a team that isn't in the playoffs picked up this player in the waiver wire because you need him. If you're that desperate, you're gonna struggle in the playoffs. Like I say, you should have a pretty solid core team that you're gonna be running the entire playoffs. You'll make one or two changes here and there, but the players that you're already changing, they should already be part of your bench. Some of these the only players that would probably matter is say if one of your starters gets injured and you don't have that handcuff at the moment and they're on the waiver wire. Yeah, that's a player you want to pick up, but it's like pick up your handcuffs right now. Start setting up that lineup, having your backups, being prepared for injuries because injuries still happen. Because like I say, you're in the playoffs. It's one game now, one game seasons. And we'll see, in our league, there's a lot of great teams. It's gonna be a dogfight for the win. We got one team that just got stacked with a lot of support, and looks like to be the favorite with a lot of number one players. You know, the lowest player on his starters is number 12. Um, so we'll see. But for me, ethic wise, it's okay to pick up players if you're mad that someone that's not in the playoffs is picking up players on the waiver wire. You're just not that confident in your team, and that's unfortunate. I think Tim and I were still going to continue making some waiver wires because we do not want to be in last place either. So we're still going to be playing for pride, for winning. Um, and it's just some of the nuances of fantasy football. So let us know. Let us know what you guys think. Do you guys feel that picking up a player when you're not in the playoffs it's a shady move or just a legit move? Because I know many people think many different ways with this. Um, and then I'll go through a quick overview of game by game NFL games. We normally do it. We weren't going to do it because Rob was going to be joining us, and um, we were going to have a few other discussions. Tim's not here, so I'll do a quick overview. Um, Week 14, Cowboys Lions winning. Lions did what they had to do. They had to win. Cowboys played okay. Prescott two picks. Needs to get a little bit better. CD Lamb um, came doing great with his touchdown or not touchdown passes, but receiving 6 receptions for 121. But a team that might now be out of the playoff picture. Detroit Lions needed this win, especially with Chicago losing and the Packers winning. That division's up for grabs. I'll go to that game. Bears versus Packers. Packers are making a surge. Tim and I, we did discuss them earlier in the season as maybe a pretender team, but they're showing up. Jordan Love playing really well. Christian Watson, for such a veteran player, doing amazing, playing number one receiver for this team. 89 yards, 2 touchdowns this past week. So great, great to see that from the Packers defense playing well again. Bear wise, Caleb subpar performance. Tougher game for them, but kept it close. Um, and they could have came out with a win, but still have a great playoff berth for the Bears. Then another game, Titans Browns. I know Tim wanted to share a little bit of the Browns loss, but it's the two of the top picks at quarterback, Cam Ward versus Shadur Sanders. Sanders had a way better statistic wise game, 364 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, whereas Cam Ward 117 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Um, Tony Pollard came out to play 25 carries, 161 yards, 2 touchdowns. So, Cam Ward didn't have to do too much, whereas Quinshawn Junkins didn't really have one of his best games. Shadur Sanders was the leading rusher with 3 carries and 29 yards. Judkins 14 carries for 26. So good showing from the Browns. Shadur Sanders looks like he could be the QB there for the future, but let's remember it's the Titans team, uh, not the greatest. So Seahawks taking a big dub. Uh, it's the Falcons. Falcons, I think, just are going to be in rebuild mode. Bijan had a decent game. Sam Darnold, great game, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jackson Smith Njigba, man, that guy's unstoppable. 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. Um, but a game that was pretty much on game script with Seahawks winning. Colts versus Jags. This was probably one of the bigger games of the week. Colts losing 19-36 to the Jaguars. Big news from this game: Daniel Jones, uh, ACL injury, out for the rest of the season, and now have Riley Leonard. Um, a team that looked like they could have made a nice run into the playoffs and even a Super Bowl run. Now without their starting QB. Um, the one thing with the Colts, rumor has it they're trying out Phillip Rivers to jump in. They may have to make that quarterback change, find someone to step in and do what Daniel Jones was able to do, to get them into the playoffs. Because this is a team that could lose it. A team that we all thought probably was going to be a playoff team now, probably missing it. And the Jaguars, taking their place of at 9-4, great chances to make the playoffs. They are first in their divisions. Texans is another team that has made a run at 8-5. So Colts are third in that division, AFC South. So unfortunate news for Colts fans, but we'll see. Hopefully, you know, prayers up to Daniel Jones' quick recovery and come back and repeat it next year. Show the Giants what they missed out on. And then Vikings Commanders. This is a game that I would say I was really surprised. Vikings winning 31-0. JJ McCarthy having, you know, uh, we could call it a subpar game. 16 for 23 for 163 yards, but 3 touchdowns. Their rushing did great. Let me see. Jaden Daniels struggled, did get injured, 9 for 20 for 78 yards when he was in. The run game struggled, passing, whereas Vikings run game did decent, did well with Aaron Jones, 14 for 76. Wasn't a game I watched, but having 2 picks, it's big for them. So two teams that aren't in the playoffs, I think, just playing for pride. Commanders probably not. They're probably going to put Jaden Daniels on the bench the rest of the year. If I were them, let him get healthy. Don't push getting him don't push getting him back on the field because he is really injured. Um, or because he is injured, because we've seen it happen before. You know, you guys had the Commanders had Robert Griffin went down with a nasty knee injury and then never really was himself. Let Jaden Daniels get better. Don't push him to where he could get even more injured with a team that has no playoff hope. Like let just wait till next year. Fight, move, have a chance to fight again. Um, then we'll go. Oh, Tim's back. I think you're on mute too.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
My bad.
So no, all good. I'm doing NFL game by game, so Banter game by
Love it.
game. And I'm at Bengals versus Bills. Bills
Ooh,
winning 39-34.
yeah.
Bengals, Joe Burrow, he's the man. Bengals know that they need him.
God, yeah. Yeah, no, what a difference maker he is. It's a totally different team when he's back under center in comparison to anybody that could possibly back him up within that team. That team is not very good around him. The offense is good. They have good
Mhm,
elements, of course, with T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, of
mhm,
course. Chase Brown, not as great this year, but
mhm.
he's still a good player. Defense needs a ton of work. We all know
Yeah.
that. And probably solidify that O line a little bit more. But what a difference maker he is. I mean, he's
Yeah.
worth every penny that they pay him. This is a game that they lost more than the Bills won, in my
Hmm.
opinion. Those two fluke interceptions at the end of the game, don't want to
Yeah.
take it away. The great defensive plays by the Bills. And then, Josh Allen, 40-yard scamper for the touchdown. I mean, it's full of dramatics, but it was
Yeah.
their game to lose. They
Yeah.
they had control of that game really throughout. And then randomly, Bengals have really good goal line defense. Just,
They
I
do.
think they made James Cook fumble within the 5-yard line a couple of different times. He lost one of them. But yeah, Josh Allen, just as like Joe Burrow, he's an absolute freak.
Mhm.
And had just one of those Josh Allen games.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Josh Allen game 251 for 3 touchdowns, but then rushed nine carries for 78, averaging 8.7 yards with 1 touchdown. So, uh, yeah, had a great game. Keon Coleman, I thought he was going to have a little bit of resurgence last week. Did think he had a touchdown this week, back to disappearing.
Mhm.
So I think that's still going to be the Achilles heel for the Bills is that offense. Kincaid, Knox, their two tight ends are probably their best receivers. After that, they struggle. So we'll see if they'll do well in the playoffs. I think, but it's going to be the Josh Allen show for them to win it.
Absolutely. He carries that team.
Yeah, but that's Bengals, Bills. Next, I have Saints, Buccaneers. Tough game for the Bucks to lose against the Saints out of all teams. My prediction of the Bucks making the Super Bowl and Baker Mayfield is pretty much out the window. Had a tough game, 122 for just with one touchdown, one interception. Um, like I say, tough time for them. I think it's just it- I don't know exactly what it is. I didn't see this game fully. Saw some highlights. Sean Tucker, another amazing, or not an amazing game, but just touchdown. Fantasy wise, saving maybe some teams. And then Saints, a win that they probably didn't really want because now their draft stock
Yeah.
it's changing up a little bit.
For sure. Yeah. They're just kind of in that window of like, are they going to be a team that is Tyler Shuck their guy? And are they going to
Mhm.
move forward with him under center, or are they going to draft a quarterback? Because I think right now they're projected to have like the fifth pick of the
Hmm.
draft. Um, Obviously there's going to be a QB there, but I don't know. Have you seen enough out of a guy like that? He had two pretty athletic looking rushing touchdowns,
Hmm.
on the game. And one of them, I think, was for the lead. And Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he has shown enough. It's just
Yeah.
the team around him maybe isn't, the biggest supporting cast. So more to build off of there for him. But yeah, a game they probably shouldn't have won, but ended up winning.
Yeah.
It's a much better team with him, versus, what's his face before. Can't
With
remember the
uh he was
oh,
from
Rattler, Spencer
yeah,
Rattler.
Spencer Rattler here.
Yeah, and then as far as the Bucks go, Mayfield playing injured, I
Hmm.
think is a big part of it. This game had all of the elements. It was raining a lot. I think it rained
Hmm.
pretty much the whole game. Mike Evans not back yet. Ibuka, really big drop in the end zone.
Hmm.
He was wide open, should have caught that. Two catches off of 9 targets. Not going to do it.
Yeah.
Still incredible player.
Yeah.
It's rookie season, started off really well. But it's just not, it's a little dicey right now. I think
Yeah.
next year is going to be a better year. They've dealt with a lot of injuries as well. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, that Saints Bucks. Yeah, they're at fifth in the draft order at the moment. Um, so yeah, like I said, Tennessee too, coming up with a win. Talked about them a little bit. Titans Brown. I know you said you had a little take if Browns would have lost this game.
Oh yeah, but they didn't do it quite in the fashion that would have made this even
Oh.
more funny. But something worth pointing out is that they're, let me pull up the text because I had it exactly as I heard it. Let me see. Um, yeah, so Sunday watching this, I had messaged John that, hey, I want to bring this up when we have the next podcast because the Browns were wearing their Alpha Dog uniform, and it was brought to you by Dude Wipes. So, just remnants of a shitty team wearing a shitty jersey brought to you by a brand that will clean that right up for you. So,
Hey,
it was a loss, but is they showed glimpses.
they show.
Shadir's the guy.
Looks like he is a guy, so we'll see. Well, but what I said is it's the Titans. Don't
Yeah.
don't take too much out of it. It's a Titans team that's like you say number two right now in the draft.
Yep.
So we'll see what they do. Next game, Steelers Ravens. Uh,
Ooh. Yeah.
Unfortunate game. Some controversial calls, but Lamar Jackson just not looking Lamar type. Derrick Henry having a great game. Losing this game for us, I just don't even know what to take with the season. Like I say, I still think we have a chance to make a playoff run, but we sort of need to figure it out. Lamar trying to figure out exactly what is going on. Is it a mental thing? Is it just injury wise? Isaiah Likely, I think, always one of the most unluckiest players to get a lot of calls just not go his way. Uh, from the highlights I saw, should have been a touchdown, but you know, it is what it is. You could complain about it, but there's not much we could do about it. Uh, my guy, Keaton Mitchell, performed, showed up.
Yeah, he did.
6 carries, 76 yards, 55, long run. Um, he's showing what a amazing player and what how much I've been hyping him up and how much of a good player he is. So I'm excited to see that. I hope he gets more touches because he's a great complement to Derrick Henry. Um, and then yeah, Steelers. Like I say, I knew it was going to be a hard game. Steelers is always a hard game, even though they're not so great team. Aaron Rodgers did what he had to do to win the game. That defense, it's a good defense. So we couldn't do what the teams did last week of keeping that defense out in the field and getting them tired. So unfortunate loss for us. It's going to be a long run, a tough run for us to make the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. Really rough last couple weeks for the Ravens. Something's definitely going on with Lamar. I don't know what it is. something's just off is the best way to put it. Short and sweet, just off. Um, that's on the offensive end. 6 touches is not enough for Keaton Mitchell. He's electric. And
Yeah.
we've been, you've been talking about Keaton Mitchell for a couple years now, ever since,
Hmm.
he came into the league. But he's just a guy that just brings a different energy to the game.
He
If
does.
you can get a 55-yard scamper and then take him out the next play, that's totally fine. But at least he gave you those yards, and then it can kind of tune up the offense and kind of
Yeah.
get them in a rhythm. Um, but 6 touches is just not enough. And Derrick Henry, so what you want. Obviously, he's an absolute unit, but he needs to come out at some point and
Hmm.
get some rest a little bit more here and there.
Yeah.
So, but shoulda, coulda, woulda at this point.
Yeah.
And then look at the Steelers. We talked about this last week. Defense on the field for way too long. Time of possession was much more even this week. They had the
Hmm.
ball for 26 minutes in comparison to the Ravens' 33 minutes. Uh, defense looked, I guess, a lot more,
Yeah.
rested in a way.
They did.
And it just had the elements to win. We talked
Hmm.
about DK Metcalf last week. Came out to play. He
Hmm.
7 catches, 148 yards, had that deep bomb that I think that was the first completion over 20 yards in like a month and a half for the
Yeah.
Steelers or something. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
The run game was non-existent for them, but that didn't matter. They just threw a lot, and Rodgers had his first rushing touchdown and
Hmm.
I think 4 years is what it
Yeah.
was. Um, yeah, that's really about it. And as far as the likely touchdown goes, that was absolutely a touchdown. And
Hmm.
then, like he said after the game, he said, "Oh, I guess I should have gotten a third foot down," which,
Yeah.
obviously two for the NFL, but not only that, it's like, he made several steps, and then when you have somebody draped over you, human reaction is extend the ball away from him.
Yeah.
So, and then what kind of football move do you want when he's already in the end zone?
Yeah.
It's just, I can't believe we're still having this discussion, like, what is it, 15 years after the Des Bryant catch? Like, what is a
Yeah.
catch? It's, it's insane. And you put it well. Likely it's just unlucky when it comes to these touchdown
Yeah.
catches.
Yeah. He's been unlucky. A lot of bad. Like I say, the one that happened was a week ago, 2 weeks ago. The touchback, like that's just bad luck. Like I don't think there was much he could have done with someone hitting the ball out, So and then last year, the toe touch, needing white cleats instead of
Yep.
the black ones. So like I say, but still great player. Like I say, possible a lot of promise for the Ravens, but the big question mark will be Lamar Jackson this next week. We'll see
Hmm.
what he does. If he's still looking that same way, I think if we can't win this next week, our season might be we might be done for for the year. I don't know if we'll make it. It's the Bengals again. We got the Patriots. After that, we got the Packers and the Steelers again. And Steelers are going to be fighting for that playoff push. So, and
Yep.
Patriots are a dangerous team, and Packers too. Like I say, and we'll sort of go into that next game. Packers winning, against the Bears. Great game.
Hmm.
Um, and it's a division we've been talking about it for a few weeks. A very competitive division with the Packers, Bears, and Lions. So it's not going to be an easy game for us. It's going to be hard hitting. But Packers winning. You know, I mentioned it a bit, Tim, before you got on. But Packers showing up, sort of, we could say we're eating our words a little bit about Jordan Love. This Packers team doing well. They're showing up that defense as well.
Yep.
So a great win for them to keep that division close. Taking the Bears off their high horse, but it's still a very close game.
For sure. And Jordan Love's playing really well because Toyotathon. Yeah, whenever it's Toyotathon, his stats are unreal. I think it's like I think he has like 34 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions, including the one he had yesterday, and like over 4,000
Oh,
passing
really?
yards when it's Toyotathon. So
Oh
big
man,
Toyota guy. I wonder if he
yeah,
owns one. If not, he should, or they should at
he
least send
should,
him a
yeah.
vehicle, because it's unbelievable. he's been phenomenal these last couple of games. Detroit, and then going up against the Bears.
Hmm.
Christian Watson, I think he is the best deep threat in the league at the moment.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
quick. Always seems to catch one. He had one last week
Hmm.
against Detroit, had another
Yeah.
one, he had a great game.
Yeah.
God, our fantasy team, man, if we could have survived a little bit longer. We have some good elements there. Christian Watson's definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they were humming. Bear side of the ball just couldn't quite get the run game
Hmm.
going the way that they have. Still, buck 38 on the ground, over 4 yards a carry. But Monongai and Swift averaged well, but they
Hmm.
just, again, no rushing touchdowns, couldn't get it going. Caleb Williams, I believe was much better second half in comparison to the first half. He had some
Yeah.
really good throws in the second half. Um, Luther Burden's another good one.
Yeah.
They were talking about getting him more involved after the first half of the season, and they certainly have done that because
Yeah.
he's another speedy element to their game. Um, both just great teams. They're going to
Hmm.
be threats in the playoff. Um, NFC North, it's a phenomenal division. I just think the NFC West is just a hair better. But still, uh, I mean, it's
It,
just NFC dominance in general.
it is, and we'll go to that next NFC, division. Rams, Cardinals. Rams doing what they had to do
Ooh,
against the Cardinals, 45-17. Uh, Great game from Stafford after a tough game. Blake Corum, um, he
yeah.
the guy there now, you think?
Oh gosh. So it's a great question. These last couple weeks, he's done phenomenal on few touches. I mean, 12 carries, 128
Mhm.
yards, couple rushing touchdowns this week.
Yeah.
And the big thing is when Kyron Williams subs out and Blake goes in, they're so similar that you can't even tell sometimes. They're
Yeah.
similar in stature and they just run the ball the same.
They
They're
look pretty
very
much the same.
quick. They're sneaky, like just the way that they're very elusive, running through, the line. Both are great backs, and quite frankly, you just run with a tandem like
Hmm.
this and just split carries. It's money in the bank.
Hmm.
And then you pair that with what Puka did this week.
Yeah.
167 yards, couple touchdowns. Devontae Adams finally not a receiving touchdown.
Yeah.
Um, but that offense is crazy good.
Hmm. It's a great offense. Like I say, Stafford showed that he still has it. Puka, it's between him and Jackson Smith for top wide receiver because they're
Yep.
both playing lights out this year. Um, and then the Cardinals just doing Cardinal stuff. Michael Wilson showing up ever since. Um, why am I blanking on his name?
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Marvin Harrison Jr. Since he's been out, Michael Wilson has stepped up. In also great pickup for anybody that's picked him up in fantasy once Harrison went down,
Oh
because
yeah.
he's probably helping you make the playoffs, and if he continues playing this way, could help you win up the playoffs and the season. So, but it's the Cardinals. We know that was going to happen. When I was looking at the draft order, one
Hmm.
team that should be trying to do better, because if not, it's going to be very dangerous, is Atlanta. At 4-9,
Mm.
Rams own that pick. So
Yep.
currently it's the number 9 pick.
Ooh.
And imagine if Atlanta just loses out the rest of the season, some of these teams win, they move up. It it's a team that you just don't want them to get that high of a draft pick when they might even win the Super Bowl.
It's like the Thunder right now.
Yeah.
Only one loss, but they own top picks already.
Yeah.
It's insane what they've, built there. Yeah, same thing with the Rams. Uh, I just I can't imagine them getting another top threat because, it's an already dangerous team. And I
Hmm.
think that this is just going to make Stafford want to play longer. And,
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what he'll do, especially the way he's playing. He has no reason to retire at the moment. So,
Yeah.
he's been absolutely phenomenal. Michael Wilson, incredible. I think there's a crazy stat out there that he has outperformed, I think, Jamar Chase and
Hmm.
you can throw in Justin Jefferson because he hasn't done anything ever since Marvin Harrison Jr.'s gone down combined. So
Yeah.
he's been really, really good. So props to him. He was kind of an unnoticed draft pick. Played very well. I think he went to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
But he's just a big standout right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't answer your question earlier about Blake Corum. I think Blake Corum is not quite taking over that starter role, but I
Mhm.
think the 50-50 split through the rest of the regular season is something we'll see because they're going to save Kyron more for
Mhm.
the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I think even in the playoffs, man, like there's no reason you shouldn't give Corum
Yeah.
more carries. He's been
Yeah.
that good.
Yeah, it should be split carries until someone really stops performing and the other outshines one, sort of you got to play the hot hand, and when they're both
Yep.
the hot hand, just split those carries, give Stafford a little bit of a break, but it's like even if they're cold, you got Puka, you got Devonta, you got so many weapons. So it's good,
Yep.
like I said, still the team that I think could make a surprise run that I don't think many people saw probably in the Super Bowl this year.
For sure. Yeah, no, and it's one of those sorry, one more quick point on the tandem duo of Kyron Williams, Blake Corum. There's one time where I had two running backs on the same team for fantasy football and it worked out well. Was back with Fred Jackson and CJ Spiller and that coming out party for Spiller. And Fred
Yeah.
Jackson was already a top back. But that season, I ran tandem with them most of the
Hmm.
year. It
Yeah.
was just lights out. I think you could do the same thing here. It
Yeah.
doesn't happen often, but they are playing that well.
Yeah, they are.
So,
Yeah. I wonder how many teams have them as a tandem starting in their
yeah.
fantasy leagues.
I
Because
have
they're
the option
probably
to do it
uh,
actually in one. I might.
it might be a good option.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's Rams Cardinals. Next Texans versus Chiefs Sunday night game.
Oh yeah.
Texans winning 20-10. Um, First, Texans, they're showing up. They're doing what they're doing. I mentioned before you came back, Tim. Colts looking like they're blowing what was looking like an amazing season for them, especially
Yeah.
with Daniel Jones going down. Texans making that run, Jacksonville making that run. So, like I say, Colts are going to need a miracle to make it, but Texans playing well. CJ Stroud doing what he had to do. Woody Marks playing great. He might be the guy there. I don't think Chubb is going to come back, and then Joe Mixon. You know,
Hmm.
he might not be starter when he comes back. I think Woody Marks has earned the right to try to start or be the starter there. But great win from the Texans. Chiefs, on the other hand, horrible game from Patrick Mahomes. 163 interceptions, no touchdowns. I think it's been a while since he's had stats like that. Um, Rushing wise, we've talked about it for many, many weeks, even many years. No rushing game. Patrick Mahomes with their highest rusher with 59 yards.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, you could say we're happy to see this because our take and our discussions of the Chiefs being pretenders and not an elite team is coming to fruition. Um, they're not in the playoffs as of right now. If season ended today, they would be eliminated. Uh, but yeah, like I said, not gonna stomp on the Chiefs too much. At least myself. I don't know if Tim might start just stomping on them crazy. But what's your take, Tim? From
Yeah, told you so. We'll start there. I'm thinking back to everybody we bantered back and forth with this offseason about the Chiefs,
Mhm,
how they just thought like what we were saying was just so far from the truth. And like we just read it like a book.
mhm,
The division is so much better, and that's just their division, but the Chiefs team altogether, like it's even last year, the way that they made it to the Super Bowl, and we clipped it this week. We did a rerun of
mhm.
our clip and kind of put it into a meme that they're kind of pretenders going into the playoffs. They've had an easy ride, and a big argument was the records of the AFC West. It's been absolutely terrible over the last 10, 15 seasons. So,
Mhm.
um, we saw it coming. The regression of Travis Kelce needs to be studied. I think we're at a point where, and this would have been a hot take for you, John. And I had this one written down for you. The comparison of Travis Kelce and Gronk needs to stop. Gronk
Yeah.
is far superior than what Kelce is. Don't get me wrong, Kelce arguably top 3 to 5 tight end of all
Yeah.
time. But Gronk is just superior.
Mhm.
And because he just didn't really have the fall off that we've seen with Kelce.
Kelsey.
Um, yeah, and that's a big part of it. But altogether, saw a lot of fans exiting the game pretty early. It
Mhm.
seems like they're giving up on their team already. Refs aren't giving them a bunch of breaks as they usually do. They've tried. Um, yeah, and I feel like with this game, we brought up last week too with Tony Romo
Yeah.
in how or a couple weeks ago. Tony Romo needs to stop commentating Chiefs games. Chris Collinsworth, we mentioned him as well, but I'm gonna do it again. Chris Collinsworth was absolutely obsessed with Mahomes. Like, I think Mahomes at one point, I think he had 10 incompletions in a row, but I think when he had 9, there was commentary from Collinsworth talking about like, oh, this is a guy that, he's been here before and he can work his way out of it. And it's like, dude, just shut up. Stop. Just just stop it for 2 seconds. But anyways, not a good game
Mhm.
all the way around. Really questionable call by Andy Reid as well. Going for it on fourth down when you're on your own 30.
Mhm.
Questionable. He should know his team better than anybody that, you shouldn't have the faith of them converting that right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Texans, arguably best defense in the league. That defense is something else. They were like the hit they had on Rashee Rice at
Oh,
one
that was
point, like
that was big.
yeah, it was fun to watch that one. Kelsey got knocked up, at the
Mhm.
end. Knocked up, probably not the best words to use, but he, got hit pretty good. They were all over Mahomes, quite a bit as well. But great defense, and
Mhm.
that's the bummer is I feel like when you play against the Chiefs right now, it just takes away from how good the Texans are, and the
Mhm.
Texans need to be more focused on.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with the Chiefs. I think they 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 need a miracle to win and make it to the playoffs because they got the Chargers coming up. Chargers still they're not going to give up. Uh Titans, like I say, that should be a win for them. They got the Broncos. Broncos are trying to go for that number 1 spot. They're still in contention for that versus the
Yep,
Patriots. And then they got the Raiders to end the season. So we'll see how next week goes. That Sunday game against the Chargers, I think it's going to be a deciding game for their season.
absolutely.
Uh,
Yeah, it's tough sledding. It's so slim with them making it.
yeah, and then today's game, Monday night, Eagles versus Chargers. Chargers coming up with a 22-19 win in overtime. Um, Chargers sloppier game, but did what they needed to do. They needed this win, especially with the Chiefs losing. Just because,
Oh
like I
yeah.
say, it's to stay in the playoff run and eliminate the Chiefs. Um, but Jalen Hurts, 21 for 40, 240 yards, 4 interceptions. Elite? No, not an elite QB. Saquon did what Saquon we've been waiting for. 20 carries, 122 for 1 touchdown. Um, but overall, like I say, another bad game for the Eagles. I think that's what is it, 3 in a row?
Yep.
Yeah, 3 in a
Going back to the
row, and
Cowboys.
mhm. And with the Cowboys losing, I think they still are a top contender to make the playoffs, but they need to change it up for them to be in a good momentum.
For sure. They ran the ball a lot better with Saquon this week. Saquon had a good game. Um, but Jalen Hurts, pretty elite at having two turnovers on the same play. That's pretty hard to do, if you ask me. Has the pick, picks up a fumble from the guy who intercepted it, then fumbles again for the second turnover, and then Chargers recovered it again. Um, so yeah, if you're in fantasy, that's -4 points on one play. That's
Yeah.
pretty brutal. I'm sure it only went more downhill from there with, four picks and the fumble loss, five turnovers in total. Not elite, and we will die by that. Um, Good game for Omari and Hampton to return.
Mhm.
First drive, got a touchdown right off the bat. And I say that because Herbert, with his hand, you can tell he's really trying to make an emphasis to favor that left
Mhm.
broken hand. Um, but give it up to Herbert. Toughness. That's
Tough.
exactly what he is. A tough guy. You know, Played a serviceable game, led the team in rushing.
Mhm.
Um, and they got what they had to do done. Shout out Chargers defense.
Yeah.
Causing five turnovers. Really good job.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a good game.
Yeah.
Fun Monday night football game.
Yeah. Good game. So like I say, going into week 15, I think the one game we didn't talk about, I skipped this one, just accidentally. Broncos Raiders. Broncos winning 24-17, doing what they had to do. Like I say, also to say, in that number one, going for that number one seed of the AFC. Uh,
Hmm.
the Raiders, they just need to reset everything. That team just is horribly bad. I feel bad for Raider fans at time, wasting Gentry's talents. Bowers had a good game with a touchdown, but could have probably done more if he had a great serviceable QB. And then Broncos doing what they always they had to do, just win this game. They didn't really have to show too much, save some of that players, but some big controversy with this game for betters. Uh,
Yep.
I think we
Oh yeah.
saw quite a few people wanting Pete Carroll investigated and probably thrown in jail for, I think it was -8.5, and then questionable penalty at the end to stop the clock and then give them the
Yeah.
field goal. So makes sense why there should be an investigation. Um, but yeah, I think that's probably what was the most entertaining, the end of the game.
Yeah, didn't watch really any of this game minus that last recap of the drive because of the implications it had on the over-under. I think was set at 7.5,
Hmm.
if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, they were down 10, 2-minute drill going into that final drive with Kenny Pickett.
Hmm.
Game was clearly out of hand. This game wasn't even looking like a 10-point game. And that penalty with 4 seconds to go, the guy's in bounds. Reviewable wise, like, did they even have a chance to snap it? It's just
No.
bizarre. And
Yeah.
I agree with everybody, the commentary on this. It needs to be
Investigate.
investigated. I think really everything needs to be put into question. But yeah, really odd. It's just like, are you trying to make 7 points seem better than 10? I guess to Pete Carroll,
Hmm.
because oh yeah, Pete, because you lost that game by 7. We're not going to fire you. Like
Do
what?
you do you think Pete Carroll's gone after this year?
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
do. Unfortunately, I do. Um, I, do we kind of chalk, and this is going to become a talking point, John. Is Pete Carroll just a different form of Belichick when, no Russ is, Belichick with no Brady couldn't was the same thing.
It could be. It could be.
Might be looking at it.
Yeah, because yeah, Pete Carroll without Russell Wilson never really did that same thing, or even without Marshawn Lynch. Without that core team, once he lost one of the players, it was pretty much downhill from there. So yeah, Belichick 2.0.
Yeah, I think we're looking at it because he's had nowhere near the success. I
Yeah.
mean, pretty equal success that I guess Belichick maybe found with Mac Jones for a second.
Hmm.
That's about it. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I don't think he'll be here next year. I think Raiders need a complete overhaul. Get that like we talked about, Genti, 10 carries for 30 yards. That's just not good.
No.
Get him that running lane, get him that Jonathan Taylor type of rushing lanes where it's just wide open, and this guy will be one of the best running backs ever. So, they're at the number 2 pick. There are QBs out there. There are some great offensive linemen out in the draft. So that number 2 pick could be really good for them. Even wide receivers, like I mentioned, pick up a serviceable QB. Um, and then pick up a wide receiver to help Brock Bowers because Brock Bowers needs that support.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Um, I guess talking about the youthfulness of the Raiders, I did see that Shedrick Jackson with his touchdown catch. He at 26 years old, he is the oldest receiver to catch a touchdown for the Raiders this season. Everybody
Okay.
else is under 24, I
Yeah.
believe. So, young team,
Yeah.
but just no QB, no O line. You're not going
Yeah.
to go anywhere.
Yeah. They need some support. So we'll see. And then, yeah, Broncos did what they have to do. It's going to be a tight race for that number 1 spot in the AFC.
Yep.
They got, let's see who they got. They got the Packers coming up, the
Ooh,
Jags, Chiefs,
ooh.
and then Chargers. So, like I said, they got 4
Oh
tough
man.
games that they need to win out, to probably make that number 1 seed. Because Patriots, like I
Hmm.
said, Patriots are looking like a
I think
team of
anything's
destiny.
more favorable than that.
Yeah,
Team of
yeah,
destiny, though. You're right.
yeah. That's what the Patriots look like. The way they've been playing at 11-2 as well. Their upcoming games, they had a bye this week, but they got the Bills, they got the Ravens, but then they got the Jets and Dolphins. So, like I say, they end the season with some, you could call them practice games. Some refreshers.
Yeah.
So
Games you probably don't have to play. Drake May maybe. Let them rest.
yeah,
Some of your starters, but Buffalo. That's going to be a really good game. The first one was great too. So yeah, be
but
fun.
yeah, but that's the NFL. Like I said, 3 more weeks till the playoffs. Uh, like I said, AFC is looking like, and this is as of today. Denver at number 1, New England number 2, Jacksonville number 3, Pittsburgh 4, and then in the wild card we have the Chargers, Buffalo, and the Houston Texans. And
Yep.
then in the hunt we have the Colts at 8-5 at 8, Ravens 6-7 at 9, Chiefs 6-7 at 10, Dolphins 6-7 at 11, and then the Bengals still with a possible chance they need a miracle at 4-9. So we'll see how they look. And then NFC. This one's, like I say, a tough one. Rams, at number 1. Green Bay Packers, 2. Philly, 3. Tampa still in it at 4. So they can still make the playoffs, but Baker Mayfield MVP, I think, might be out of the picture.
Yep.
And then wild card Seahawks, 10-3. Man, being in the wild card, that's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. Then San Francisco had a bye week, 9-4, and Chicago. Man, Chicago going from a team that was at top of the division and also at top of the NFC now to last in the wild card is crazy.
Yeah. It's just goes to show how competitive that division is. It's
Mhm.
outrageous.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tampa and Philly just seem like odd people out at 3 and 4, but it's just because they lead their lousy divisions.
Yeah.
That really gets them in there. But yeah, it's crazy that, like the positioning of San Francisco, even at 9 and 4, puts them in 6 because Seattle and the Rams, have that
Yeah.
leg up, which is crazy. Um, just uber competitive division.
Mhm. Yeah.
Carolina, obviously going to be a dark horse in there. Don't know if they'll make it in, but Detroit and Chicago, they're going to have to really duke it out
Yeah.
because 7 teams make it, right?
Yep. 7 teams. So
Wow.
I think Rams, I think, have set it up. Seahawks. I think 49ers, unless something goes drastically wrong for them, I think you guys should be pretty comfortable. Let me see what
That Colts game looks a whole lot better now. I will
it
say
does.
that.
It looks a lot
We
better,
have
you know.
Titans next, which is hopefully cupcakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Colts game looks a lot better. Bears is going to be a great game. Um, and
And then
then we
Seahawks.
have Seattle to finish off the year, which the first game to start the season was a really good one.
Yeah. Yeah, and depending on what the Seahawks do, that could be a, playoff deciding game if you think about
Yeah.
it. Because Seahawks have Colts next. Like I said, should be a winnable game now. But the Rams, which like I say,
Yep.
Rams are still going to try to win. Panthers, who will be fighting for a playoff spot, so
It's gonna be a great game.
it won't be an easy game. And then like I say, 49ers, it could be for that final playoff spot. So NFC is looking scary
Oh yeah.
of a team, above 10 wins, possibly not even making the playoffs.
Outrageous. Just just the NFC North and in West.
Hmm.
It's just powerhouses of the league right now. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
But yeah, but that's NFL. Like I said, Tim went over some fantasy recap,
Nice.
uh some college football.
Hmm.
Uh Anything you want to share before we sign out with any of that?
Um, two quick points, I guess.
Yeah.
Notre Dame. I'll start with the college football playoff. Notre
Yeah.
Dame. Can't blame you
Yeah.
not wanting to play the bowl game. I completely understand. Emmanuel Ho. I disagree with his take. I think it's not totally unprofessional to bounce out of a bowl game because you don't make it into the playoff. Bama should be out. Notre Dame should have been in.
Hmm.
But something that's going to help Notre Dame in the future, which they need to consider, is joining a conference. It's going to make a big deal for them, and that's why they're kind of
Hmm.
odd team out right now. So, um, yeah, it's a bummer because Jeremiah Love is so much fun to watch, and he would have been
Yeah.
really fun to watch for the playoff. But stage is already set. It's all make believe time now. But next year, I don't know. We'll see how things are different.
Hmm.
Then for fantasy football, I'm sure you brought up the scenario with Rob, right? And did you recap that one in particular? With
Yeah, I
Okay.
came up with it, or I discussed it by myself, but like just the ethics of if you're not in the playoffs, picking up a player on the waiver wire when it doesn't do anything for your team because you're not fighting for a championship. And I mentioned I was on the fence about it. I was both pro for it, but also against it if I was in the playoffs. But in the end, it's part of the game. Like if you're depending on the waiver wire this late in the season, you're not that great of a team, and you should be scared because
Yeah.
your team should be pretty much the same team the entire playoffs, other than your few dark horses that you're only there for a few points.
Very, very well put. Yeah, no, I completely agree. A couple elements that can certainly change up things is did you buy into the league? And if you did, you have every right to still compete.
Yeah.
Second, is there a last place punishment? And if
Yeah.
there is, you sure as hell don't want that. So yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead and grab, I don't know, Baker
Yeah.
Mayfield off of the waiver wires if you feel like
Hmm.
he's going to make a difference because somebody dropped him.
Yeah.
Not bring up any exact examples of something that may have happened in
Yeah.
the league that I'm in. But yeah, I think that those are two things alone that, and also it's kind of fun to play spoiler,
Hmm.
get back at teams that, might be looking for something. But I agree with you. Unless there's some freakish injury, there's
Yeah.
no reason at this point in the, in time to be looking at the waivers.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's sort of what I mentioned. Like, yeah, there's still injury potential, so it's like you got to pick up all the handcuffs now. Don't be
Oh yeah.
depending on the waiver wire because everybody's going to be fighting for that. There's going to be people wanting to play spoiler and mess with your team. The teams that get first waiver priority, we could pick up all of the players that we're not even in the playoffs. We're pretty much eliminated. We lost this week. There's no chance for us to make it. So But what I also mentioned is like we're still going to be playing because we don't want last place because we're prideful. We want a higher
Yeah,
placing even though we didn't win it again this year. But yeah, it's like you if you're worried about the waiver wire, worry about your team more. Like I say, because you should be concerned.
agreed. Yeah, no, and we put out a lot of trades this year. Nobody wanted to do anything, so didn't want to do our trades. Then don't
Yeah.
expect to get the guy you want on waivers either. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll be playing spoiler. We're
Payback.
looking.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh,
fun
you bet
time.
we are. Yeah, totally.
Uh,
No, it's great. It'll be fun to do that. Bummer we're not in the playoffs because we have some good elements of the team that panned out too late. But yeah,
mhm.
fun time of year.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. In the college football, I was on the same thing. Like Notre Dame, just don't blame them, and also like bowl games. I don't think they're as big as they used to be. I think they're so popular, but at least TV wise, since the college football, playoffs were implemented, the main bowl games, yeah, everybody watches it because it's a college football game,
Yep.
a playoff game. But the rest, it's sort of like if it's your team, you support them, but after that, it's not really much or not making the money. And like I say, if Notre Dame decided to do this, just be like the athletic director making the decision without talking to the kiddos, the players and the coaches, it's a little messed up. But if this was a team decision where everybody, they had a vote and it's like, yeah, majority said we're not going to play it, I support them.
Yeah, no, for sure. Completely agree. And starters don't really play that anymore. They're looking towards the NFL draft a
Mhm.
lot of times or the next season. Transfer portals are a real
Mhm.
thing now, obviously.
Yeah,
Maybe they're entering that and not even available for a bowl game. So,
yeah.
um, yeah, there's a lot of elements to it.
Mhm.
It's bowl games should not be holding value like they used to.
Yeah,
It's not like a bunch of people are and bowl games are played at weird times. Like
yeah.
the ones that aren't important, like this, I don't know. I'm just making up a name, Starbucks Frappuccino Bowl. If it's two mediocre teams that just happen to get into a bowl
Yeah,
on like a Thursday morning,
yeah.
nobody's watching it unless you
Views
like
aren't
know
that.
somebody.
Yeah, yeah. They're not. I would say they don't have the same prestige as they probably did back in the day with the
Exactly.
college football playoffs. So we'll see. And the last thing I mentioned here, Fernando Mendoza, my Heisman winner.
Yep.
I had Pavia number 4 out of the 4 finalists.
Yeah, so it's Mendoza, Love, and
Yeah,
then Pavia, right?
Pavia.
Yeah, yeah, Love and Mendoza, you can kind of make them interchangeable, but I am leaning Mendoza. It's kind of become a quarterback award.
Mm-hmm.
Mendoza's been phenomenal. I don't want to take that away from him,
Yeah.
especially he was on Cal, miss him.
Mhm.
But phenomenal player. But yeah, then I'd go
Yeah.
Jeremiah Love, saying finally with Pavia.
Yeah.
A lot of good banter on the Pavia take we had, but we're kind of low key surprised that he's nominated. But hey, good for him.
Yeah.
His I don't know, his podcast circulation
Yeah.
panned out for him.
Yeah, no, it worked out for him. The attention, kudos to him. Like I say, he had a great year, but just not a difference or a difference maker, but just not at that level of these other players.
Exactly.
So we'll see. Like I say, I mentioned draft wise, I don't think he'll be top 2 rounds, but we'll see what he does in the combine. Yeah, he has to show a lot to make that little jump.
Yeah, yeah. And then the take, he's a vibes guy. I just
Hmm.
I don't see it transitioning to the league,
Yeah,
Maybe a serviceable backup somewhere. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. We'll see. But yeah, so that's the show today. Thanks everybody for listening, bantering with us today. Your support keeps this thing growing every week, so thank you. And as always, just do us a solid, hit that subscribe, follow button on Tik on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, also on our TikToks, Instagrams, where we post our clips. And just tell the algorithm that you like this content, you want more of this energy, more of this banter, and we'll do that. And as always, jump into the comments with your takes, your banter, what you guys want us to hear or what you guys don't agree with us.
That's right. Exactly what we're here for is to banter. So thank you guys so much for all the comments, likes, subscriptions, views. It means everything. And, we appreciate any feedback when we get it. So thank you guys so much and have a great week ahead.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate it. Until next time, this is Banter on the Rocks.
Peace.